Hello and welcome to another episode of the Tipped Balls Podcast. I am your host, Sam Randazzo, and I am joined by my two demented co-hosts. To my right, it is the one, the only, Uncle Sam.
Hello.
And behind the computer, polishing his own grapes, it is Bruce, the tugboat Venditti.
What's going on?
Well, we are back and better than ever. It is draft week. There are rumors flying around everywhere. Signings happening left and right. Obviously, the biggest trade of the offseason is finally done. And, I mean, we all saw it coming. We all knew it was going to happen. We were waiting to see what was going to happen. They were pretty much just waiting on compensation. Aaron Rodgers, one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game. An extremely, how long has he been in Green Bay? 15, 18 years? 15 years in Green Bay? Like is officially a New York Jet. So, what does this mean? Well, one, I think Zach Wilson's out of a job. I think that one is...
R.I.P. Zach Wilson.
Sucks to suck.
R.I.P. Zach Wilson. You know, and I kept seeing it going around about how good of a thing this will be for Zach Wilson.
It's actually a good thing for him
because he'll be able to sit behind him and really learn how to actually play football.
He'll be just like Bruce,
but
sitting behind him and playing with his gherkin.
I also saw
making a lot of money.
A multitude of memes going around this week about how at the end of the season, Zach Wilson was talking about how any veteran quarterback that the Jets bring in, he was going to make sure there was a real stiff quarterback competition between the two of them.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, so it'll be real interesting to see how the quarterback competition goes between Zach Wilson and Aaron Rodgers.
Well,
so at the end of the day, compensation, they're swapping first-round picks, right? So
the Packers received a 13th overall pick, and the Jets received the number 15 overall pick.
Right, and I think the Jets
this year.
The Jets get a 5th, right?
Well, the Packers, they also get
a conditional
second rounder, which is number 42 overall.
Right.
And a 6th rounder, which is 207.
And
then a conditional 2024 second rounder that could become a first rounder if he plays 70% of the snaps.
65% of the snaps, which outside of him having a catastrophic injury, I don't think there's any way that we don't see Aaron Rodgers play.
And so the Jets actually come out pretty good. They still hold the 15th overall pick in this year's draft, and they get a 5th rounder, number 170 from the
Packers.
From the Packers.
Now,
so
let's talk about what this really means now, right? So obviously the Packers are running the table with Jordan Love, and this trade has massive implications on both divisions, right?
Right.
Realistically, I'm going to come out on a limb and say this now. For the Packers, you got Jordan Love, all right? It's going to take time. I don't think they're this perennial team anymore. Their offensive line's aging quickly. Their defense is kind of, for lack of...
young. The defense side of the ball, they're young.
But lacking a lot of, like, that young Papa defense that we saw from the Jets last year. Like, they're not that sexy, just young. Realistically, now Lazard's also a Jet. So, I mean, they don't really have that many offensive weapons left. I mean, Dobbs, obviously, is a good young receiver. Aaron Jones is what Aaron Jones is. Christian Watson. Came on last year. Now, for me, this means one thing for us as Detroit Lions fans. Officially now.
You're a Lions fan now.
Officially, this is the Lions division to completely hand away on a silver platter. Because if you take that Minnesota team that didn't really do all that much this offseason, All right,
they've kind of been really, really quiet.
Real quiet. And realistically,
they have an aging team too.
Aging. Last year was a lot. Like, for me personally, I would not be shocked to see the Vikings win 7 or 8 games this year, just because they were on the brink of losing so many of those games last year.
Yeah, they got really lucky. They won at least 10 games that they should have lost.
Right. I mean, if 3 or 4 of those games go in a different direction, we're talking about a whole different thing right now. And, you know, when it's as close as it was for them last year, I don't see them repeating that same thing this year. And teams getting older, and I don't really like their offseason this far. So we'll say that much.
His name's gone.
If anything,
Thielen's gone.
Thielen's gone.
He needed to go.
I mean, yeah, he was a fucking. He's next up for
is
Ghost of Randall
Dalvin
Cobb
Cook
of the
going to
Year
be able
award.
to play a full season?
Probably not. I think, if I'm not mistaken,
no way.
I'm not sure if Alex Mattinson's still there either.
Oh, really? I thought he was.
I need to double check that, but I'm pretty sure that he's. I'm pretty sure he has moved on.
Listen, they still have a good team. They're not bad. They still have probably one of the top 3 receivers in football. Cousins is still a game manager and can put up a shit ton of yards. But you know, at what point does that team really scare you? No. Green Bay is going to be in a rebuild. I don't think they're as bad as what people think they are. Are they going to be competitive? Yes, but they're not going to win a lot of games.
I agree. I don't. This is the Lions division now to lose. And if you notice,
it's their team to lose to Chicago.
The Lions' odds to win the division almost doubled last night. You know what I'm saying? So everybody knows this is the Lions division to lose. Nobody's scared of a Jordan Love ran Packers team. Nobody's all that scared of the Minnesota Vikings this year. And the Bears are quickly becoming the Cleveland Browns. So that's the implication I think this has on the NFC North, is that it's the Lions division to lose now.
They are truly a force to be reckoned with.
Correct. Packers are entering a full rebuild now. So we'll say that. Now, for the AFC East.
What does that do with the AFC East with Aaron Rodgers going there?
So we all thought that last year the AFC West, between the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Broncos, that was a miss, the Raiders, we thought that was, miss. Yeah, that was a couple bad misses.
Nikes.
We thought that was going to be, by leaps and bounds, the best division in football. And obviously, because Russell Wilson he forgot how to play football
until about week 13, and they were so far out of it.
And then, I mean, the Raiders were nothing but dysfunction last year when you have your starting quarterback crying on stage after games. So we were off a little bit on
Getting
that.
the blame put on him.
Right. But let's be real here. This division now is completely 1,000% up in the air. All right? There's one team, in my eyes, that I could say with certainty I know will not win that division. And that's the New England Patriots, right? Outside of
because
them,
they're in a fucking rebuild. I mean, let's be honest.
Wait, so now we're willing to admit that, eh?
They're in a rebuild. Belichick's not sure what direction he wants to go in yet.
Because Belichick's washed and he's a has-been and he needs to retire. But other than that,
might just be right there, yeah. You might be right.
So we can write the Patriots off. But outside of that, the top...
Never write Bill Belichick off.
I'm writing Bill Belichick off, all right? I'm writing him off. They don't even know who their starting quarterback's going to be. Mac Jones don't want to be there. Matt Patricia's gone. So, they're going to have a massive...
Patricia is not gone. He went somewhere else.
He's in Philadelphia. But...
He's with the Philadelphia Eagles. My God, what the fuck are they doing? Are they trying to give me heart palpitations before the fucking season even starts? Why is he even near the Philadelphia area? Why?
I don't know.
Somebody needs to do some explaining. Hello?
Okay. Breaking this down. Obviously, we know what the Bills are. And all of us up here think that the Bills are going to continue to regress a little bit. I agree with that too. I think that you could see regression out of the Buffalo Bills this year again, but I don't think it's going to be where Buffalo's an 8 or 9 win team. I think Buffalo is still a 10, 11, maybe even 12 game winner. I don't think you're just going to see Josh Allen pull a Russell Wilson and completely forget how to play football.
No, I don't either. But he even admitted this week he did an interview with somebody and he said he was going to have to change his game
Yeah.
He's got to change his game.
Without
and he
question.
knows that.
And they're going to have to change the game as a whole.
Yeah, because they're going to get him killed. And you can't continue to put the pressure on this guy because when the pressure's on, he folds.
Well, it's just too essentially, you're right.
It's too much.
It's
all put on his shoulders.
They need to get a real running back in there. They need to get some decent other weapons. Because, I mean, here's what we saw last year out of Buffalo. Stephon Diggs had a fabulous year. Gabe Davis and Isaiah McKenzie were inconsistent.
They're flash in the pans.
Inconsistent at best. And Dawson Knox forgot how to play football. So, I mean, let's be real.
No, they just weren't looking at Dawson Knox's way.
It was not
one
a
game,
good
they
year.
would target him 8 times. The next game, 1.
So, the Bills are still a contender for that division. Now,
Sean McDermott needs to really sit back, look at it. They have some holes on defense.
Oh, yeah.
Their second, by the way, Tamar Hamlin is coming back. They said he will play this year. Okay. And that's just great.
that is great.
That's terrific for him.
He was at the White House with President Biden.
Was he?
Yep.
He should be.
Yep.
He got $9 million in his little account there. He should go there.
Well, he was invited by the president.
Great.
Yeah.
Does
He was
he
in the
even know
Oval
he was
Office.
there?
He was in the Oval Office.
Did Sleepy Joe even know he was there?
I don't know if it was Sleepy
No?
Joe or his body
Mr.
double.
Biden,
But
the
either
president,
way,
the guy who doesn't know where he is half the time.
either way,
Oh, okay.
Bills
Sorry.
have some things they need to
Am I
address
saying too much?
on both
Sorry.
sides of the ball.
Am I going to be canceled?
The next team that I think could win that division is the Miami Dolphins. I mean,
Right now, I what's your forefront to win this division?
right now as it stands, okay,
I like the Dolphins. I like the
For
Jets.
me-
You can't say Aaron Rodgers is going to put the Jets to another level. The defense was already stellar. They were tough as nails. And to put a guy like Rodgers behind there at quarterback, that makes them a very, very dangerous team to anybody.
So before we get into the Jets, because I want to spend a little bit of time there. Miami, we know everything there is to know. Great receiving duo, added a good tight end. Defense needed a little bit of help. I think
They got it.
They got it.
Their secondary is probably the best in football.
If not one of, yes. And there's an X factor, right? If Tua stays healthy, they have a really good shot to win 11 or 12 games.
Human ragdoll. If he can stay out there for at least 10 games, they'll win 10 games.
Agreed. Now, the Jets. Let's really break this down outside of just Aaron Rodgers getting there. Number one, okay? They have one of, if not the best running back out of last year's draft class, okay? Who went down with an injury.
Yeah.
My God. I mean, the guy was lights out until he got hurt. He's going to come back, and I think he'll be right in that same form. Number two, they have one of the best defensive fronts in football, which makes their secondary that much better than they already are.
Yeah,
Quentin
Williams is a beast.
I mean, my God. Defensively, the Jets, I think going into this year, could be the scariest defense in football.
They're a sleeper.
I don't even know
they
if
have the
they're a
talent to
sleeper
go all the
anymore.
way, dude. They really
their
do.
defense does.
And they're going to get a couple more picks here in this draft coming here. You got a couple more weapons for Rodgers. They got the 13th overall pick.
15th.
Or the 15th overall pick.
Correct.
Who knows what they're going to get? They get another receiver over there?
Well, that's what I was going to say. Garrett Wilson obviously tore it up last year. If they can add another weapon on offense, which I think they should do, then
how about a nice tight end, that Dalton Kincaid, the tight end from Cincinnati? I would love to see him in there.
how about
Utah.
Smith and Jigba?
What are the chances?
Yeah.
My God, could you imagine him
Another
and Garrett
receiver?
Wilson on opposite sides of each other? Please. I mean,
What are the chances that Aaron Rodgers just comes out and shits the bed next?
zero.
Zero.
Okay,
Because that's if you want to call this similar,
I'll say it right now. They make the playoffs this year easily.
without question.
Without question.
But I mean, if we want to break this down similarly, all right, do you
1 year
think
older.
this year's Jets or last year's Buccaneers had a better team? Defensively.
Defensively, I think the Jets are better defensively than the Bucs.
Okay. Running back. This year's Jets, last year's Bucks. Advantage Jets. Offensive line. Advantage Jets. Right? Outside of the dynamic duo of receivers that the Buccaneers had, which one of them missed half the year, The Jets are much better than last year's Buccaneers team were.
Chris Godwin played on one leg the whole year.
And, like, if you want to break this down, the Jets and the Buccaneers essentially did the same thing. Let's get a 40-year-old quarterback in here who was one of the best ever and see what happens. But the Jets have a better supporting cast around him than the Buccaneers did.
Hey, Woody Johnson's rolling the dice, baby.
And the Buccaneers still made the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the Jets, I think
they limped into the playoffs. They were probably the worst playoff team that was in there.
Agreed. But
outside Seattle.
Yes. But they were there. And I think the Jets are a 1,000 million % lock to make the playoffs. Do I know if they're going to win the division? No. It might take Rodgers a few weeks to get into a stride there, right? And it might.
Well, I think if he goes through a full training camp, well, this is what's going to help them. He's going to have an entire training camp this year to get to know these guys, and hopefully he makes it there. Yeah. He makes an effort.
Aaron Rodgers notoriously likes to skip training camp.
Well, I don't think he will. He knows the importance of this. This is his legacy right here.
I mean,
this is his legacy. Dude.
Going to New York also adds a whole nother dynamic to this. I mean
you don't win a bunch of MVPs in a Super Bowl and then kind of fucking pack it in and go somewhere else. You didn't see Brady do that. He didn't pack it in. Well, he packed it in this year. But, I mean, it is what it is. I don't see Rodgers doing that.
No.
I think he'll go there and give it a legitimate shot.
And I think the only reason why he did this is because he expects to not only play this year, but next year. I mean, because
possibly.
If not, you're really putting the Jets in a bad situation. And honest to God,
I think if Jets make the Super Bowl, if they go to a Super Bowl, which they haven't done since 1969. They go to a fucking Super Bowl. Dude, I see Aaron Rodgers being fucking hoisted up on the shoulders and walked down fucking goddamn Broadway. It'll be his town, and he'll never play again. That's the swan song of all swan songs.
The way that Brady
That's how you go out.
Went out.
That's what Brady should have done last year.
So, funny enough, when you said Dalton Kincaid going to the Jets at 15.
Yes.
In your mock draft, you had Green Bay taking Dalton Kincaid at 15.
I did.
And you had the Jets taking Gonzalez.
Christian Gonzalez?
Yeah, another. Yeah. But I'll be honest with you, you might be right. And I wouldn't mind that. Give Aaron Rodgers the big old tight end that he hasn't had since Mercedes Lewis.
That guy's a catching machine,
yeah.
Kincaid. He puts up some huge numbers.
Now, the other aspect to all of this is if you're the Packers, okay, and I get it, you wanna move on.
They're gonna go with Jordan Love, and God bless them. We'll see what happens.
You really think that they're going with Jordan Love?
Yes, I do,
without question. You don't think we can see?
I don't think they're gonna try. They don't. Number one, you just acquired 2 first-round picks for Aaron Rodgers, and you're going to have 2 first-rounders next year. The quarterback class of next year is bigger than the quarterback class of this year, probably a little better, a little more refined, and I don't see them making a move at quarterback this year. I don't. I could see them to either bolster their offensive line or get a few more weapons in there or continue to bolster that defense that they really went heavy on last year. Their defense was very young, and they got some stars there. Quay Walker is going to be a star there in Green Bay.
You don't think there's any chance they try and jump up to 3 in that Arizona spot?
I don't see them going quarterback this year. I don't.
So they're going to ride it with Jordan Love.
They're going to ride it with Jordan Love. Who knows? Hey, for them, it's better if they actually lose some games because they're in the middle of a fucking rebuild. It's something that Green Bay hasn't had to do in how long?
20 years almost.
They had 20 years of
Brett
Favre.
30 years.
And then another 20 years of Aaron Rodgers.
Almost 40 years they haven't had to do it.
They haven't had a shitty quarterback since Don Majkowski. Do you know who Don Majkowski is, Bruce?
No.
You'll have to Google it. He's
Okay.
you with curly hair.
Now, there's another aspect to all of this.
Young lad.
The 49ers came out and said that they are fielding calls for Trey Lance and that Brock Purdy will be
the
starter going forward.
Smoke screen.
Why?
I don't believe that for 1 minute.
I do.
I really don't. I don't believe that for 1 minute. I don't believe it.
But why? Obviously,
who wants Trey Lance?
Well, that's the thing I don't know if I believe. I don't know if there's anybody out there who wants him, but
I truly believe there's nobody. There's no takers on him.
You want to know what? If you could trade a second or a third for Trey Lance, would you take the risk?
Would I personally take the risk? Well, I mean, if you're going to have him as a backup, I guess no.
Like if you're in a situation like New England or Atlanta, or even, and I saw this one, Miami. Why not? Why not take...
His skill set fits what Miami does offensively.
Why not?
But the problem is Miami's already got one ragdoll. You don't need two.
That's true.
This guy had a serious injury. People are overlooking that injuries that he got. I mean, he was done.
That one's interesting to me because I think you're going to see Trey Lance end up somewhere on draft day. I really do.
You know what? I think you're going to see a lot of teams playing musical chairs. I really do. I think you're going to see a lot of teams moving across the board.
So I have two philosophies on this, realistically. And if you haven't heard, we are doing a live draft party from Zeph's Dockside Bistro in St. Clair Shores on Thursday, 6:30, 7 o'clock.
Come on out.
Come
on
down.
It's going to be a good time.
If you're local, beer and food's on us. We're going to have some fresh merch for you guys, and you're going to be able to see us do what we do.
You can see Bruce Hyde slamming Modelo's and swaying in the wind.
I thought you were getting drunk this year.
Sorry?
I thought you were getting drunk this year.
I'm not getting drunk this year. I have to drive.
Well, we'll get you an Uber.
I had to drive last year, and I didn't get drunk.
So, I agree with you, but I see one of two things happening.
I'm going to make Garrett give me a ride home.
Garrett,
are you going?
No.
Garrett?
Garrett's going.
Is going.
Garrett will be there. You're either going to see musical chairs and you're going to have more trades in the top 15 than you've ever had before, or nothing's going to happen.
Or nothing will happen.
Correct.
It wouldn't surprise me if it goes from one extreme to the other.
I think there's one trade that is a guarantee, and I really think Arizona's trading out of 3. I just think that they're going to get a king's ransom, and like you said, Arizona doesn't really want to be good this year. If you're Arizona, trade out, stack a pick for next year,
right?
Tank.
You want draft collateral. You don't want You don't want to pick in this top 5.
I mean, if they draft Jalen Carter or Will Anderson, all you're doing is pissing 2 years of their fucking rookie deal away to win 5 games. So I think Arizona's trading out of that spot. That's just me. But we need to talk about one of the top names in this class. The man that you had going number 4 to Indianapolis.
Yeah.
And that is Mr. William Levis from the University of Kentucky. Quarterback, obviously, he's one of the big 4 from this class, as they're now calling it. The big 4. Over the last 48 hours, Will Levis odds to be picked number 1 overall. 48 hours ago, plus 5,000. 36 hours ago, plus 2,000. 18 hours ago, plus 1,000.
What the hell?
12 hours ago, plus 550. What? And it's now at plus 400.
Get out. Him going first overall?
In the last 48 hours, it went from plus 5,000 to plus 400.
I don't know about that.
Oh,
because I still think Bryce Young, and we're not going to, he's the most ready out of everybody.
Who?
Bryce Young.
Okay, but when you see, now, I don't always believe in the Vegas thing, but usually, and you're the one who says this, Vegas isn't wrong.
Well, last year, every pick that Vegas was coming out with before the picks were even announced were dead on.
So, this means something to me. This, I don't know what it means, but this to me means that Frank Wright or somebody at Carolina,
somebody's smoking some of Bruce's peyote because we don't know what's going on here.
It's not mine. I got it from Aaron Rodgers.
I am really starting to believe, I mean, through all I'm seeing, and this isn't just like, no, it's not like anybody's picking up on this. We have major reports. I mean, Sports Illustrated is doing a story on it right now.
Right.
Yahoo Sports. This is gaining traction.
As I watched him at the combine, I was like, You know, they talked about his big arm. I didn't see it, but I did notice something. A week after the combine ended, This guy came on and put some selfies of himself. He was shredded. I was like, how did this guy get from fucking smooth Brucey to freaking cut and ripped within a week?
Smooth.
I was like, what the fuck?
Smooth Brucey.
Like,
what the fuck does that even mean?
I don't even know. You know, Bruce is very smooth. He's not.
What?
He's not shredded.
I think Bruce would argue that.
He should be shredded, but he's not.
Okay.
Working on it, man.
Now let's.
That's what the
He works out too much. You got to go 3 days.
That's what the Tongat Ali's for.
Just 3 days, bud. You go too many days.
Will Levis goes number 1 to Carolina. And you make it now, you essentially guarantee that with that third pick where Arizona is, that either CJ Stroud or Bryce Young will both be, well, one of the two was going to be available there, right?
Right.
If not, because now I'm starting to hear rumors.
I don't think if Levis goes 1, the Texans control the draft.
Oh, yeah.
Because you got to figure out what is DeMeco Ryans thinking here. He's telling everybody he's going defense, that he's not going quarterback, which it could be bullshit. It could be a smoke screen. But he's content and said he was content with riding it out with Davis Mills to improve the team.
I don't.
They need picks also.
I don't know what Houston's thinking.
Well, maybe Houston's trying to get to bait Tennessee to come up.
Well,
Maybe
okay.
that's what they're trying to do.
Either way, if Carolina takes Levis, I think
all bets are off. I don't know who's
that third overall pick now
becomes huge.
Becomes the most sought after draft pick in I don't know how long. Because you have essentially at least 3 teams who are going to get in a bidding war to move up to 3.
Yes.
At least. And
well, you know, one's Tennessee.
Tennessee, absolutely.
Possibly Atlanta.
I'm out on Atlanta going for a quarterback.
If they're going to go with Ritter, let them go with Ritter. You could see Tampa Bay going there.
That's what I'm saying.
Trying to get up.
And
New England.
I forgot.
There's been talk about how Chris Godwin is no longer happy in Tampa Bay.
It wants out. He's not the only one.
I'm sure that Arizona, who's trying to dump off DeAndre Hopkins right now, wouldn't mind bringing in. It's just going to be that third pick to me is going to be the most entertaining spot in this whole draft.
Correct.
Unless
I think that's where it all
fuck
starts.
around and take something.
I think it really starts with basically with the Houston.
Well, yes.
What is Houston? Are they going to go with the quarterback or are they going to go with defense?
Let's say Houston fucks around and takes Will Anderson.
Okay.
Right? So your first 2 off the board now are Will Levis
and Will
Anderson.
So you got all this stuff. Now, if you're these other teams, all right, let's say the Cardinals next. The Cardinals are still the trading spot. We already know that.
If you get a situation, if you get a situation where Bryce Young is still on the board at 3,
but I think this is bad for Arizona because some people might say, you know, why move? It'll probably drop to me.
Well, no, because here's the thing. I think if either of those two are available between Bryce Young and CJ Stroud, one of them's not making it past Seattle. One of them's not making it past Indy.
Or Detroit.
Well,
what's to say, you know, everybody's saying, Detroit, they're going to go defense. They're going to go defense. How do you know
they're going
if
defense.
Anthony Richardson's there that they don't take him?
I will bet my entire life all 4 of them could be on the board at 6 and the Lions aren't taking them.
Hey, they had Stroud here. They liked him. They really liked CJ Stroud.
Great. They ain't taking him.
All right.
They ain't taking any quarterback.
I don't want to get rid of Goff.
But there is something that I want to discuss at the Detroit spot. All right? And you have them taking Devin Witherspoon because you have Jalen Carter and Will Anderson off the board. And I disagreed with you all up and down last week because I hate the idea of taking
I like
DB.
Witherspoon because he is a
cute.
run. He's not only a guy that can cover, he's a real hard-hitting run supporter.
You know what?
And I think that's what the Lions need defensively.
Guess what?
I don't think he's the best corner. I actually think Gonzalez is. And I like Deonte Banks.
So then why would you take him at 6?
Who you like?
I do like Banks.
These guys are more cover guys.
But guess what? There's
Banks you can get at 18.
Right. You might even get Joey Porter at 18.
if you wanted to.
Taking Devin Witherspoon at 6'1" makes no fucking sense because you can get a comparative player at 18. And 2, I do not like taking defensive back in the top 10. Hate it. Fucking hate it. Period. Now, there is one thing that we need to talk about here, though. It's not sexy. If we are in a situation where, much like your mock draft, both Will Anderson and Jalen Carter are off the board at 6.
Correct.
I know the perfect solution for the Detroit Lions. Because my original philosophy was, this will be perfect. Nobody's going to take running back that high. Bijan Robinson's going to fall into their lap at 18.
I don't think that'll happen.
I don't either. Me personally, I am now at a point where I don't think Bijan Robinson makes it past Atlanta at 8. All right? It's starting to make too much sense. And if somehow he does...
No, because you know what? If he does, he's gone at 10. He's going to Philly.
Well, I would agree with you there. And if somehow he makes it past there, there's nothing but fucking rumors going around right now that New England could be a landing spot for Bijan Robinson. Because if you actually want Mac Jones to work, why not bring in the best running back in the draft?
They already have one.
Huh?
They already have a monster at running back. Stevenson.
Again,
Ramondre Stevenson is a beast.
We talked about this last week.
Yeah.
If you can get a two-headed monster.
If there's anybody that does a two-headed monster, is Bill Belichick.
If you can get a two-headed monster in today's NFL,
I just don't see him lasting that long.
Much like my philosophy with the Lions, taking Bijan to put with David Montgomery and creating a fucking bona fide two-headed monster, I don't think you should risk it. If Anderson and Carter are off the board, or if you are not in love,
you want to sit there and pay this guy close to $10 million a year?
Yes, because after doing a little bit of research and really sinking my teeth into the tape on Bijan, because I'm infatuated with him at the moment, in my personal opinion, and I know this is going to be a tough pill for you to swallow, I think, and I said this all last year, if you're picking that high, you are drafting for gold jacket potential.
But you said never draft a running back in the first
Never
round.
did I say that.
Yes,
I said,
have.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you have.
No, I did not.
Yes, you have. Bruce, you find it.
That's fine.
He's always said, do not draft a back in the first round.
I'm going back on what I said.
Why not?
Because this can be the exception to my own rule, because my philosophy from last year was if you're picking in the top 10, you're drafting for gold jacket potential. Okay?
Yes.
I personally think not only does Bijan Robinson have gold jacket potential, but he will be the best running back to ever wear Honolulu blue and silver.
That's a pretty big statement. I don't buy that. We all know who the best one to have the Honolulu blue and silver on.
I know that's
right. That's Barry Sanders. The greatest running back ever to play the game.
I know that's a tough pill for you to swallow. And I'm not the only one who thinks this way. There are a lot of people out there now who are really starting to think that Bijan Robinson could be one of the best running backs to ever play the game. If he's there, and there's nobody else that you like.
With the offensive line that they have here, I think you're looking at the next guy that could hit 2,000 yards.
That's what I'm saying. So why would you pass
in today's game, which is kind of very hard to do?
You want to make Jared Goff
better,
a Super Bowl contending, Pro Bowl contending quarterback?
Give him Todd Gurley.
Give him his Todd Gurley back. And if you draft Bijan Robinson, you're there. In my opinion. Okay. If the Lions come out of this draft,
so if the Lions sit there and they take him at 6,
I wouldn't say a word.
Okay,
I'd be thrilled because, in my opinion, if the Lions secure him,
all right,
and then they come around at 18, and there's going to be a lot of guys there. I wouldn't have an issue with them taking Joey Porter. I wouldn't have an issue with them taking. You know what? I honestly now with Jameson Williams being out, if Zay Flowers is there at 18, Wouldn't have a problem with that. I'm big on him. Realistically, if you come out of this draft at all with Bijan Robinson as the Detroit Lions, you're going from, oh, it would be cute to see the Lions win the NFC North and win a playoff game to, oh, wait.
The problem with this is real simple. I think 6 is too high for Robinson.
I don't.
I wouldn't do that.
I don't.
You have to solidify your defense. Their defense was so fucking atrocious last year, and you've seen what happened to them. Even if their offense becomes an absolute juggernaut, which it will, I just don't think they need to burn number 6 with him. You want to know why? Because if he's gone into the top 10, there's another back there who I think really fits what Detroit wants to do, and that's Jahmyr Gibb from Alabama.
Yes.
Kid's explosive as shit.
I don't want another DeAndre Swift. I don't want another running back that fits what Detroit does. I want a guy who changes the fucking game here, right? I want a Barry Sanders. I want a Calvin Johnson. I want somebody who has the potential. I would rather them draft Bijan and in 3 years he's out of the fucking league and know that they went for it.
I agree. I do like the go for it mentality.
Fucking
because I'm going to tell you right now, if they're there at 6 and they got a chance to get Jalen Carter, I say they get Jalen Carter. That's my opinion.
I'm not going to disagree with you.
And at 18, if you want to jump back into the first round and jump up a couple spots if you think he's going, then grab him. Take that 11 or trade with somebody at 11 or whatever, 10, and then trade with Philly and then grab him at 10.
Now, I got another question for you. Say they did take Bijan Robinson at 6. Would you be awfully disappointed with taking Myles Murphy at 18?
No, not totally. No. If he's there. But I'm saying if you got a chance, Myles Murphy is a different player. Listen, Jalen Carter is the best player in this entire fucking draft.
I'm going to disagree with you now.
I don't. Watch the tape. You'll see what I'm talking about. He is the best player. All of these teams that are been successful within the last couple of years, they have an interior guy who is just unblockable. That's what the Detroit Lions need. That's Jalen Carter.
Listen.
You put Jalen Carter in the middle. If you want to move up
you did that
18,
last. You had the chance to do it last year.
Listen,
you had the chance to do it, and you went wide receiver.
They got 8. They got 8 fucking draft picks this year.
Can I ask you a question?
Guess what? How many of those do you think are going to be starters?
Who's your favorite player in the draft last year?
Who was my player?
Who's your favorite player in the draft? Tell me. Enlighten me.
Outside Kayvon Thibodeau?
Yes.
Jordan Davis.
Okay. Would you rather have Jordan Davis or Jalen Carter?
Look at it this way.
Would you rather have Jordan Davis or Jalen Carter?
Let me say this. If the Lions would have moved back up to 12 and grabbed Jordan Davis, do you think that they would have got fucking run on like they did last year?
No, but I also don't think their offense...
The answer is no.
But I also don't think that...
Because Williams didn't even play.
Yes, but Williams was a long-term play.
I get it. He's a long-term shot. I get it.
All right?
I understand it.
And here's the other thing.
He was the best receiver on the board last year.
Listen to me.
And that's saying something with all the guys that were there.
What about Lucas Van Ness? That's another guy that you liked.
He's okay.
If they take him at 18. I mean, there's guys there. There's guys there.
You kind of
Brian Breesy. You raved about him last week.
Brian Breesy is... The problem with Breesy is...
The Cansey guy, you raved about him last week.
I'm sorry?
The Cansey. Kalaj Cansey, or however you pronounce his fucking name.
I like Cansey, but he's too small. I like my defensive lineman big and can move.
Yes, but if you could have Barry Sanders and one of them, or one of them and somebody else, who are you going to take?
But you're missing what I'm telling you. You're missing what I'm saying. Who is going to go higher? Bijan Robinson or what's his name? Now you got me all screwed up right now.
I don't know who. I don't even know where to begin. Who you're talking?
Got me. Who do you think is going to go higher?
Bijan or
the best defensive player?
You're asking me. The best defensive player in the draft is going to go higher.
Correct. So that's why I said, if you got him at 6, take him at 6. Then if you want to move back up to like 10, which they could do with their second and third round picks, move back up and then
yes,
take
but I don't know if he's making it past Atlanta. I don't fucking know if he's making it past Atlanta. I don't.
I just don't. You know what? Atlanta had a lot of success last year with the running back that they have.
Oh, get the fuck out of here with that.
An absolute beast toward the end of the year. He was a beast. And now he was splitting time with Cordell Patterson, too. Right or wrong?
Not sold. Sorry, I'm not sold.
Okay.
Not sold. I think that's where we see him go. I think we might see Bijan go at 6 now. If Will Anderson and Jalen Carter are off the board, it's a lock. It's a lock. If they're there,
you say don't take a defensive back with the 6th pick in the top 10. Why would you take a running back in the top 10?
Because this is my proposal to you. If that defensive back turns out to be the next Deion Sanders, then yeah, go ahead and take him at 6. Right? If this running back turns out to be the next Barry Sanders, yeah, then go ahead and take him at 6. That's how much I believe in him. Anybody other than that, anybody other than somebody you're going to put a statue in the fucking stadium of one day,
right?
You don't take him.
You got the mural.
That's where I'm at
on the side of the building.
Yes, that's where I'm at on Bijan.
You know, it reminds me of when Barry Sanders and Deion Sanders were in the draft together. They came out the same year in '89, and what happened was they said, "Hey, Sanders is going number 2 overall." And he's like, "Oh shit, does that mean I got to go to Detroit?" That's what Deion Sanders said. He didn't want to fucking come here. They wanted to take Barry Sanders instead of him. Funny little anecdote.
Good.
Hey, he had all the Gucci stuff on, the Gucci chain with the glasses and the Jerry curl. There's nobody cooler than Deion Sanders.
If I was in Gucci sunglasses with a Jerry curl, you wouldn't tell me.
But he was in the Gucci shit before it was even popular. Nobody knew who fucking Gucci was back then in '89. Nobody knew who it was. What was that kid? Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang. That shit didn't exist yet. Who's that? Lil Pump?
Lil Pump.
Lil Pump?
Lil Pump.
So, there was a big...
smokes all the pot. You know who that is. I'm sure you know who that is.
Do you know who Lil Pump is?
Yeah, I know who Lil Pump is.
Oh, he does smoke weed.
No, he quit drugs. Now he does shrooms.
He did what?
Bruce did just say he quit drugs and now he just does shrooms.
Oh, he does shrooms now. That's even better.
Yeah, there's a video online of him high as hell on an airplane. Just like,
he's like you. That's going to be Bruce Thursday night. Y'all want to come out and see it. Don't miss it.
There's a massive trade that we need to talk about outside of Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
One of the greatest wide receivers of this generation was traded from the Rams to the Steelers. And
what?
No, it wasn't Cooper Kupp.
Oh.
It was Allen Robinson.
What the fuck? You just said greatest receivers. Allen Robinson?
Every time he talks about him, he says it like that.
By the way, he's a local native, Allen Robinson.
Yes, he is. Last year, didn't have...
Boy, he gets passed around more than anybody I've ever seen.
Yeah, I would have to say so. Last year, he had 33 receptions for 339 yards.
That's incredible.
With 3 touchdowns.
My God.
Yeah.
What production.
That was
what the fuck?
Fantastic.
Are you serious?
Production. Yeah.
That's all he had?
33 for 339 and 3.
I wonder why the Rams want to shoot themselves now. Who was that?
You
McVay?
have to remember, fucking
McVay was over there talking about Bill Belichick selecting a guy in the first round that he had ranked like 102. Whatever. You took Allen Robinson, knucklehead, dumbass. Maybe I crossed the line. I'm sorry.
No lines have been crossed today.
Well, you know what? By the time this year is over, I guarantee you I will cross the fucking line.
You think so?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Oh,
it will be an implosion.
It's guaranteed.
I meant to ask you this last week and I forgot.
Shoot.
We ran real deep on our mock draft. I was like an hour and 40 minutes.
There's some guy sneaking up the board that I didn't expect.
Well, you took the words out of my mouth. Who is one guy that nobody's seeing in these first round mocks that you really think could just pop out of nowhere?
Well, I think Deontay Banks is one of them. The corner out of Maryland.
Okay.
That guy's shooting up everybody's board. Emmanuel Forbes. I got a feeling you could see maybe 4 to 5 guys, defensive backs, go in this first round. I have a feeling, just because of the talent level that's there at defensive back. Christian Gonzalez is a 6'3", 6'4" cover corner. Is he Sauce Gardner? No, but he's the next. He's so smooth in the way he plays. I think he's right there. He's right there. He just doesn't have the listen, Sauce had an air about him where he was just unbeatable.
Sauce Gardner was he changed. Sauce Gardner was kind of
Deion Sanders. Kind of. He didn't have. Hey, he's fly. He's as fly as Deion. He's today's version of Deion Sanders.
Yeah, I agree. The Jets are now projected to get 5 or 6 primetime games this year.
Well, of course they're going to. They got Aaron Rodgers. Listen, if they don't make the fucking playoffs, it's a travesty.
Oh.
Then somebody's going to have their head on a plate if they don't make the playoffs.
Okay, but I'm not going to lie. Would it not be the most Jets thing ever to trade for Aaron Rodgers? And then somehow they're worse than they were last year. I don't see. No,
I don't see that because the defense is just going to get better this year.
Yes, but
and then Breece Hall will be back, and Breece Hall is a difference maker. He single-handedly put that team on his shoulders, and they would have probably went into the playoffs and deep in the playoffs if he hadn't got hurt. They were not the same team without him.
I'm not saying that I don't think they're going to be good. What I'm saying is it would be the most Jets thing ever for them to not be
The only
good.
way that they don't make it is if Aaron isn't all the way in. If he's all in, I think they'll be fine. I think they'll be really successful. But if he approaches it like he approached last year with Green Bay, I don't know. I think he knew he was gone out of Green Bay.
I think he did too. I mean, they wanted to get rid of him.
They didn't want nothing to do with him.
Correct.
They were talking that shit as soon as the season ended. They were talking about we don't want him back.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell is that? You don't want the guy back. He won you a Super Bowl with Mike McCarthy as the coach. Are you fucking kidding me?
Well, I mean, Dak Prescott has the ability to do that too now.
I'm sorry?
Dak Prescott's got the ability to do that too.
Oh, God. Obviously, he doesn't.
He didn't make it very far.
Dak Prescott. Jesus Christ.
So
that name, I wake up at night.
The Dallas Cowboys in general. So.
With cold sweats thinking about him on my fucking fantasy team. Oh, my God. Oh, look at Dak. Look, I gave him to you. He put up 31 points. The next week, he put up 6. And from every week on, it was like maybe a double digit if you were lucky. If he didn't throw 3 picks.
So your fantasy quarterbacks the last 2 years have been
Mac Jones,
Dak
Prescott.
And who'd you throw?
I did have Lamar Jackson last year, but he got hurt. Good night.
So
and then
who are you going for this year?
I actually have Trevor Lawrence at one time too.
I gave you Trevor Lawrence on a silver platter last year.
No, I drafted Trevor Lawrence and gave him.
Oh, you traded him to me. Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Now, who are you going for this year?
Quarterback wise?
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers. That's my guy. It's going to be him and Garrett Wilson. That's going to be my duo.
I mean, you love Garrett Wilson.
I love Garrett Wilson. Listen to me. I drafted all rookies last year. My entire team was rookies.
And you
it didn't play out good for me.
You traded all the good ones and kept all the garbage.
Yes, I don't know why I did that, but yes, I did. You're right.
Just seeing if we have any other news here. So obviously, draft begins at 8 p.m. on Thursday. We will be live right back here on YouTube at 7:15, ready to break the whole thing down. We're going to see how
everybody's got to come out. It's going to be a great time. Watch the draft. It'll be entertaining.
If you don't come out, make sure to watch us on here because we will be live on here.
Watch us. If you can't come, make sure you guys watch. It'll be stellar to see Bruce and everybody's going to want to see just what a debacle it is.
Well, and we will also have Uncle Sam's official mock draft up so we can compare.
Oh, stop.
Uncle Sam's mock draft.
I change my mock draft every day.
You know what? Here's what I'll do. All right? I'll let you make some final revisions
I'm going to make some revisions on my mock.
And then I'm going to do one as well.
Okay.
And we'll put them side by side.
Bruce doesn't know who the fuck
actually
anybody is.
quite honored that you think that they would come out just to see me.
I think that just might happen. You're right. If I was
you said come out
some
and see
guy
me, so
and
you're some
lonely
guy.
and didn't have anything else to do on a Thursday night, I would go see Bruce.
Oh my God.
Oh wow.
Only if Bruce wears a little tank top and his little short shorts he wears, and his little flip flops, his little slippers. He wears slippers. What the hell?
Moccasins.
Before we go,
You're
couple
not comfortable.
little news and notes here on some signings that happened. Tyler Huntley re-signed with the Ravens.
You might as well. He'll be playing next year.
A'Shawn Robinson.
Hey, Sean.
You were like a dog who just heard somebody ring the doorbell. You were like, A'Shawn Robinson signed with the New York Giants.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah, I'm serious.
Put him next to Leonard Williams.
Yeah.
That's a formidable 1-2 punch in the middle.
A nice little duo right there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. Oh, my God. I don't know how we missed this piece of news.
What?
Zacchaeus.
Who?
Zacchaeus. Zacharias.
What about him?
His name's actually Zacchaeus.
Okay.
He's a Philadelphia Eagle.
Zacchaeus is an Eagle?
Zacchaeus is an
Holy
Eagle.
shit. Does that mean Quez Watkins is out of the picture?
Quez Watkins may just be out of
I
the
like
picture.
Zacharias in Philadelphia. You kidding me?
Zacchaeus.
It's Zacchaeus.
Yeah.
I have no idea how to say his first name, so that's why we haven't even made the
I don't even
attempt
know
to
his first name. I just know it's
Olamide.
Zacharias.
Olamide?
I know it's Zacchaeus. I get it.
Olamide Zacchaeus.
Olamide?
Olamide.
There you go.
Other than that, I mean,
Well,
if anyone cares
God
to know,
bless Allen
Blaine
Robinson.
Gabbert signed with the Chiefs.
who did?
Blaine Gabbert. So
what is
Pat
he-
Mahomes better watch out for his
And-
job.
I'm sorry?
Pat Mahomes better watch
He
out
doesn't
for
have
his
to watch
job.
out for his job. You know what Blaine Gabbert's going to do? Wipe his balls off with a towel. He's just going to stand there, give him a fucking Gatorade when he needs one. Just like Alex Anzalone needs to do here in Detroit. But I don't know. Nothing against you, Alex. I know you try hard. I get it. Just got to make the plays in the backfield before it comes to you, not after.
That's Dan Campbell's fluffer. That's all he is.
Listen, I'm a Dan Campbell guy. I love Dan Campbell. I really do. He's the guy you want to drink beer with. He's the best.
Anyways,
I have trust in those guys that they're going to do the right thing on draft night. I even think that they're going to take a couple of guys just like they did last year. Everybody was like, who?
Oh.
Who the fuck is Rodriguez? Who?
we forgot about a massive piece of news. Fucking betting gate. The Detroit Lions hit with multiple accusations of
God.
gambling.
Heard about it already.
Gambling at the team facility, so that is why Jamison Williams will not be playing until week 7 next year. And
the worst part of it is
Quentin
Quentin Syphilis was absolutely released from the Lions
Yep.
because him and another guy, what was the other kid's name?
I don't even think he was like officially on the
The
fucking.
safety. No, he was officially on the roster. And then it was another guy from a different team.
Commanders.
Oh, C.J. Moore gone.
C.J. Moore is gone.
Yeah.
He was a rotational guy in that defensive secondary. And then there was a guy that plays on a complete different team. I want
The Commanders.
Is it Atlanta?
It was Commanders.
No, it was the guy in
Commander-
Washington who
Commander.
also got suspended. Yeah.
So I'm thinking to myself, now, sports gambling is legal in the state of Michigan,
Indeed, it is.
which it's mostly everywhere in the country, it's legal.
Pretty
Okay. And what was really kind of hypocritical, which the NFL is hypocritical,
They just want to make
you're going to suspend a guy that was betting on college football games while he was at the practice facility because he was at the practice facility. If he would have been across the fucking street in a parking lot, that would have been okay.
Yes.
But to me,
It's the dumbest
listen,
shit
if they
I've ever
were
heard.
betting on the NFL,
Ever. actually ever.
Cephas and
Syphilis and the other guy we're doing.
Correct.
Yeah.
They deserve to get suspended. I'm not going to say that they shouldn't get suspended. They deserve it.
No, I was
But
thinking this. What if he was actually?
you guys know the fucking rules. What are you doing? What are you doing? Why would you risk your career over something stupid like that? I mean, I get it. They were like, well, fucking it was college football, blah, blah, blah. I get it. I totally, because it's done everywhere, and it's on your phone. It's not like, okay, I mean, the NFL endorses all these fucking companies. They endorse it.
Well, of course.
DraftKings and all that. They endorse all of that.
But
so they can fuck off.
the whole thing is they're trying to avoid the slippery slope.
It's all about money. It's all about fucking money, dude.
If you got him doing that shit inside the fucking facility.
Oh, give me a break, dude. Pete Rose. Pete Rose ain't in the Hall of Fame. He's got 4,000 fucking hits. Nobody will ever break his fucking record. Ever in Major League Baseball. The only one who came close to doing it was Derek Jeter, and he'd had to play another fucking 12 years. He'd be dead.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't think
What?
he'd be dead.
I don't think Pete Rose has.
Miguel Cabrera played for how long?
Does. Pete Rose.
The guy's a body bag. Did anybody see him play this year? He's a body bag.
Miguel Cabrera is currently
He's
23rd of the
1,000 hits
list.
away from Pete Rose. 1,000 hits.
1,200. 1,100.
Yes.
Yeah.
You think he's going to get 1,100 hits this year?
No.
Absolutely fucking
Fuck
not.
no. But Miggy's pretty high up on the home run list. But anyways, this is not a baseball show. Yes, so Lions will be without Jameson Williams the first 6 weeks.
Stop fucking up, Jameis Williams. Stop fucking up.
He was hurt.
Huh?
He was hurt.
Whatever, dude.
And I
Stop
bet you
fucking up,
he
dude.
was betting on an
Stop.
NFL
You know
game.
what? It shows immaturity when you guys allow shit like that to happen, dude.
Bet you he was betting on
Take
an
this
NFL
serious. You're grown men. You're making
not.
millions of dollars.
We know that for
Take
a fact.
advantage.
Yes.
Take advantage of it. You know?
Because if he was betting on NFL games,
Yeah, but how do we know that they're just
they have
so
the
much
they
money invested in them that they just he was betting on a college game
because you don't think
he suspended 6 games.
You don't think that they looked into
you don't
that?
think they looked into the bet slips and where he did it all. The only reason they figured it out is because they tapped the Wi-Fi in the fucking practice
Correct.
facility.
That's why.
They know
were in Allen
everything.
Park and
Yeah.
they tapped into the Wi-Fi in Allen Park. That's how they got caught.
Amen. So,
crazy
draft
fucking
is
world.
on Thursday. We will be back here live, 7 o'clock. Join us on here. We're going to break down all the picks. Hopefully YouTube doesn't lag too long, and I'll get them to you before ESPN does again this year. And if you're around, if you're in Detroit, it's going to be a great time. Come out, have a beer on us, and enjoy the show.
That Seth's place is really nice. You guys will like that. Right off the water there, it's gorgeous.
Did you say Seth's?
Seth's.
No, I think he said Zevs. I heard it.
Seth's.
I heard it.
What?
I heard it.
Seth's.
Seth?
Z-E-F. Seth's.
Yes, but your Z's sound like S's.
Well, whatever. It's a Z. God damn it.
So join us there. If you can't make it out, make sure to get us right back here on YouTube. Anything to add before we go?
Come on out. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be a great time. We're going to have fun.
Couple Zimbabwe.
We're gonna live it up. Have a good time.
Also,
watching the draft.
Shout out to the Tipped Balls softball team that Uncle Sam chose not to play on because he's a big pussy.
I'm old.
Tonight is our first game, so we're gonna go out there and win one for you this week.
Chop the tree.
Chop the tree.
I do have a heart condition. I can't do that stuff anymore.
Yeah, okay. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching another episode of the Tip Balls podcast. Make sure to check out our socials, Instagram and Twitter at Tip Balls, TikTok at Tip Balls Podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, remember to click subscribe and ring the bell so you know when we go live. And if you're still listening to us on Spotify or Apple Music, we did not forget about you. Thank you for listening, as always. Tune in Thursday, 7 p.m., special episode, live draft party. Thank you guys so much. If you don't tune in with us, enjoy the draft. We'll be back next week to break the whole thing down anyways. Have a good week.